who is Mick Jagger's girlfriend. All about Melanie Hamrick. Mick Jagger and Melanie Hamrick have been dating since 2014 and share a son.
Mick Jagger may be one of the best-known rock musicians, but his relationship with Melanie Hamrick is on the private side. The Rolling Stones frontman was already a father of 7 when he met the former ballerina in 2014. After 2 years of dating, the couple welcomed Jagger's 8th child, son Deveraux Octavian Basil, in 2016. Prior to welcoming her first son, Hamrick didn't have much experience with children and lived a really simple life, as she told Marie Claire in 2017. "I never held children. Everyone laughed at me if I did. Now, all of a sudden, there are babies everywhere. You don't become a ballet dancer thinking about having children," she added. Despite their high-profile relationship, Hamrick doesn't share much about Jagger on social media. She instead sticks to sharing photos of her dance work and son Deveraux. So, who is Mick Jagger's girlfriend and the mother of his 8th child? Keep reading for everything there is to know about Melanie Hamrick. She is a former ballerina. Hamrick was born in Williamsburg, Virginia, and began studying ballet at an early age. She was a scholarship student for 5 years at the Deveraux Academy of Ballet, where she trained with famed ballerina Alla Sizova as well as instructors Nikolai Morozov and Adrienne Delas. In April 2004, she joined the main ensemble of the prestigious American Ballet Theatre, with which she performed in Apollo, The Nutcracker and Balanchine's theme and variations, among others. She met Jagger in Japan. The American Ballet Theatre and the Rolling Stones were both on tour in Tokyo in February 2014, which is when Hamrick and her friends met Jagger backstage at a Stones concert. The pair's relationship didn't become romantic until that June after Jagger invited Hamrick to join him for his band's stop in Zurich. She and Jagger share one child. On December 8, 2016, Hamrick gave birth to a son, Deveraux Octavian Basil Jagger. Deveraux is Hamrick's first child and Jagger's 8th. He joined older siblings Georgia May, James, Jade, Elizabeth, Lucas and Gabriel. A rep for the couple released a statement after Deveraux's arrival. Melanie Hamrick and Mick Jagger's son was born today in New York and they are both delighted, the statement read. Mick was at the hospital for the arrival. Mother and baby are doing well and we request that the media respect their privacy at this time. As he's grown, Deveraux has begun to enjoy music and dance just like his parents. He's even been spotted supporting his dad at concerts and at the ballet with his mother. He dances a ton, Hamrick told the New York Times of her son in 2019. "I don't have him in classes yet. He plays the ukulele and makes up songs. He's got the gene. Definitely. I really want him to take tap. For a little boy to make some noise with his feet? He loves music classes." She retired from the American Ballet Theatre in 2019. Hamrick announced her retirement from the American Ballet Theatre on Instagram in July 2019. "It feels time to close this chapter and open the next," she told the New York Times of her departure. "The schedule of ABT is great, but it's hard when you have a child and the life I have now. I feel like Superwoman some days. And other days I feel like I'm head above water just phoning in being a dancer, coming to rehearsal and not being my best. That's not fair. I love it. But sometimes my head is not there." Hamrick spent 15 years with the ensemble. Before her final year, she spent the off-season choreographing Port Rouge, a ballet set to music by the Rolling Stones. Her experience on the other side of the table gave Hamrick a new perspective on her craft. "I got so excited when I choreographed Port Rouge," she told Point magazine. "I had this new motivation and thought that I could enjoy trying out some other styles. I started taking contemporary and hip-hop classes last year. It was so funny to be in the back of the class in my sneakers for hip-hop, but it made me smile." She co-founded a production company. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, Hamrick co-founded the non-profit production company Live Arts Global with ABT principal dancer Christine Shevchenko and choreographer Joanna Deveraux. The company provides a platform to watch performances at no cost. Our goal is to bring classical ballet to our beloved audiences at no cost and hopefully bring in new fans at the same time, Hamrick told L'Officiel magazine. Live Arts Global also employed out-of-work artists and stage crew while most performance spaces were shut down due to the pandemic. To give the dancers the sense of being on stage again was really special, Hamrick added. She has collaborated with Jagger. In spring 2019, the couple collaborated on the ballet Port Rouge. Hamrick, who announced the project on Instagram, choreographed the ballet while Jagger put the finishing touches on the score using the Rolling Stones catalog. Melanie had the idea to do the ballet and she's choreographing it and she chose the songs. To be honest, Jagger told Town and Country. We discussed a few alternatives, but she really chose them. Jagger continued, part of my job is to make sure that they all run together smoothly, do the links and the edits so they work together. So they flow nicely and the highs and lows go together and the keys work going from one song to the next, that sort of thing. Port Rouge premiered at New York City's Lincoln Center at the gala benefiting Youth America Grand Prix, a scholarship competition for young ballet students.
Melanie Hamrick. Born in Williamsburg, Virginia, Melanie Hamrick began her training at Chamber Ballet and continued her training with Sandra Balistrixi at the Eastern Virginia School of the Performing Arts. She was a scholarship student for 5 years at the University Ballet Academy, formerly known as the Kirov Academy of Ballet, where she studied with Alla Sizova for 3 years, as well as Nikolai Morozov and Adrian Delas. She has performed the Wedding Pas de Deux and the Bluebird Pas de Deux from the Sleeping Beauty and the Grand Pas de Deux from the Nutcracker. Hamrick attended the summer program at the School of American Ballet for 3 years and attended ABT's Summer Intensive program in 2003. Hamrick joined ABT Studio Company in September 2003 and the main company as a member of the Corps de Ballet in April 2004. Her roles include Calliope in Apollo, Lead Jamp, A Shade and Pas d'Action in La Bayadere, The Fairy Winter in Cinderella, Prayer in Coppelia, An Odalisque in Le Corsaire, A Flower Girl in Don Quixote, Moina in Giselle, Caroline in Jardin aux Lilas, Olympia in Lady of the Camellias, The Spanish Dance in The Nutcracker, A Harlot in Romeo and Juliet, Candide, Sincerity, in Ratmansky's The Sleeping Beauty, The Fairy of Sincerity in The Sleeping Beauty, A Big Swan, The Pas de Trois and The Spanish Dance in Swan Lake, The Prelude and Mazurka in Les Sylphides, Diana and Terpsichore in Sylvia and roles in After You, Dark Elegies, Duets, Everything Doesn't Happen at Once, From Here on Out, Gong and Raymond Divertissements. She created the role of one of the Nutcracker's sisters in Alexei Ratmansky's The Nutcracker, The Sapphire Fairy in Ratmansky's The Sleeping Beauty and roles in After Effect and Private Light. Miss Hamrick's performances with American Ballet Theatre are sponsored by Joanna and Brian Fisher.
Mick Jagger. Mick Jagger is an English singer and songwriter. He is the frontman of the Rolling Stones, known for classic rock albums such as 1969's Let It Bleed, 1971's Sticky Fingers and 1972's Exile on Main Street. In 2003, Jagger was knighted by Prince Charles for his services to music. The Rolling Stones were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1989 and have won 3 Grammy Awards. Jagger is famous for his high-profile relationships with women including model Jerry Hall, fashion designer Lauren Scott and ex-wife Bianca Jagger. He has 8 children including Georgia May, James, Jade, Elizabeth, Lucas, Caris and Gabriel. He welcomed his youngest, Deveraux, with girlfriend Melanie Hamrick in 2016.